Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of GVB Pod. I'm your host, Sebastian Herrera.
And I'm your co-host, Patrick Valvano.
And today we got another very special episode for you guys. Today we're going to be discussing some sports topics, as well as a little bit of something else. But I think, for episode 6, we should start off just by saying, prayers up to those lives lost at the Travis Scott concert in Houston. What a crazy thing.
Yeah, dude.
What a crazy thing that happened. I honestly can't believe it, really.
I can't believe it either. They don't really have a full explanation for it either yet. The FBI is now involved in the investigation. That's how serious it is. Because how do you have such a calamity where it's like, not only does the performer not really give a damn, which I understand. It's difficult to see as a performer what's going on. But to be fair, there are videos of like emergency vehicles coming in. And then on top of that, it was understaffed. Apparently they hired.
It was understaffed.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, you have they had 60, 70,000 people there, and then
I thought it was more. I thought it was like 100,000.
That's fair.
I really don't know. I thought it was
taking numbers.
About 100,000.
Yeah, it was regardless. It was a massive crowd,
right?
And they hired obviously a lot of events hire private security firms to do stuff, and they did an interview with a guy recently, and he's like, yeah, they barely gave us instructions as to what our jobs were. He actually ended up leaving before the performance started because he didn't feel safe at all in the environment.
Dude, wow,
that's how bad it was.
Imagine you're hired to be security and everything, and private security is supposed to be really good, but you feel so uncomfortable that you leave early.
Yeah.
Also, I'm here, you can grab her. So if you hear any noise in the background, we have a doggo. It's my doggo, really. Her name's Nala, and she's a huge licker, as you can see. She loves to just play with people and just go crazy. But welcome to the show, Nala. She is our show pet. Welcome to the show. If you'd like, you can put her down.
I'm going to.
Back to Travis Scott, though. I really do think that it's tough to really judge who was at fault 100%. I do think that Travis Scott was at fault for not dealing with the situation as well as other performers have. I mean, I saw videos of, for example, A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
He would take care of the situation instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that he was in a concert mid-performance and he sees someone pass out and he's like, yo, stop the show, help her out. And he's getting angry at these people because they're
rightfully
not helping out.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Because that should be your natural human reaction, but go ahead.
And here we have Travis Scott just singing, yeah, as someone's being lifted across the crowd because they're passed out. This guy, I'm sorry about that, guys, but that just it's not right. I don't think it's right at all, to be honest. I think he could have handled it much better, and I think he should have handled it much better.
It shows a lack of empathy, and not only in him. Let's not just act like it's again. You said it's not all his fault, but the people in the crowd too that were walking all over people. And I get it, it's a C. It's like a C, but at the same time,
I don't think it's their fault though, because considering how intense the crowd was, how packed it was, because they literally couldn't move. I read this heartbreaking story where this lady was saying, or this girl, she was saying it was so jam-packed, so tight in there that if your hands were up, they're stuck up. If your hands are down, they're stuck down. There's no way to move, no way to do anything. You are in the position that you're stuck in, and unfortunately that's how these people got trampled over. I don't think it's at fault.
Well, I've heard stories where there have been a group of people that have been yo, this person needs help, screaming to the people around them, and they kind of just ignored it. And
I saw videos help, screaming.
And there's some people that are trying to help them, but then that's what I'm saying is that I get it, it's hard to move there, but there are people trying to actively help, and you're just no, never mind. There's a psych term for that. I forget what it is, but there was this story. Is it Kat Genevieve? There was a woman basically that was crying for help in a city, right?
Yeah.
And she was stabbed multiple times or whatever, and every bystander refused to help her basically. And it's a bystander effect. It's you don't step up because you think somebody else is going to do it. And think about we don't think that we're capable of doing that, of being not being helpful in those kind of scenarios, but you never know, right?
I guess you never know, but if I see someone getting stabbed in the middle of a concert, it's not
not a concert. This was in the 60s when that happened with she was in the middle of the street. And, it was I'm saying it's a theater. No, not the concert. No. But even with the concert too, it's just I just don't understand. I panic when somebody needs help. Not like in a way like, oh my God, like I don't know how to help them. Like I need to help this person immediately. Like it's just the way I feel. So I'm sure in that situation, I probably would have reacted the same. Not saying I would have guaranteed some sort of like help, like how if I would have really truly stepped in to help the way I wanted to, but there would have been a sense of anxiety in me to do something. And like the same people that climbed the ladder to go tell that camera guy, like, yo, shut it down.
The lady, this girl climbed it, and they shut her down. They ignored it. They wouldn't look where she was pointing, which is like so messed up. Like, I think that whole thing was just poorly handled from the beginning. The way that the private security didn't do their jobs. They didn't listen. They just didn't care enough. They were stubborn. Like I think the whole thing from the from the people who were hosting it, to Travis Scott, everyone could have done more. Honestly, I don't know if the crowd really could have done more because they were just stuck. But either way, I just think Travis Scott is definitely at fault here. And did you see his apology video?
He's like rubbing his face. Like it's like the way it came off body language wise is I'm exhausted and I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
that's the way it came
off. It came off just like really, really fake. Like he was just trying to force sympathy or trying to force.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sad. Like
he rubbed his face like this. Like it's like I don't really want it. Your body language means a lot too when you're saying stuff, right? So his body language is coming off as like this is like me having to do something. It's not like, oh, like I'm sitting at a camera, I'm looking at you, and like my facial expressions are real. It was very much like he's rubbing his head. He's like, oh, like it's like, oh, do I really have to do this? It's kind of like how in the 1992 presidential debate, this is what again, I'm just tying this in because it's body language. George H.W. Bush checked his watch in the middle of the debate, and that came off as I don't want to be here. And I'm wasting my time having to do this. Well,
honestly, I think, but that's
it's a different scenario. But I'm just saying that your body language as a public figure plays a massive role in what's going to happen to you in the future.
Yeah, look, we've all seen those stupid YouTube apology videos where everyone fake cries and everything. And honestly, some of them are believable, but this man looked like he put zero effort into it. It was so not believable. And the fact that, hold on, not only did he have such a really, really bad apology video, he made it in black and white.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the fuck was that
why are
shit?
You, like, dude,
Jesus
you think
Christ.
Putting something in black and white is going to make it more sad? People are going to believe you more? Like, no, that just is dumb.
Yeah, the lack of emotional knowledge right there is absolutely ridiculous.
It was
I mean, I get what he's trying to do there, but at the same time, it's like, also, first of all, it could be like I'm trying to like show how dark the scenario is by making it black, or it could be like I just want to make sure my face looks okay when I'm filming this.
Yeah,
so
fuck
like
that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like regardless if it was either option, fuck that. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. Are you kidding me? Like show some sympathy. Like you're a millionaire. How many of these families are going to have to? I mean, he's covering funeral costs and stuff like that.
He is.
But yeah,
I mean,
for some of the families.
Right.
But I think what's annoying too, and this could be the last point on this, is that BetterHelp, the app, decided to work with Travis Scott. Reached out to them to like do it like a deal with them so that everybody who's been impacted by this gets 1 free month of therapy from BetterHelp. And like I get it, like it's supposed to be like a nice thing for the company to do, but at the same time, it's like I want to market my company from this massive like scenario that happened rather than like I'll pay private therapy for you. Let's just use this app. You know what I mean? It comes off that way.
Yeah, it does come off that way. I mean, you never know. I mean, his intentions could be pure in that sense that he's like, okay, I want to have these people get therapy because I do feel bad. Sure, that could be the case.
Yeah.
I just think that the execution definitely could have been better. I didn't hear about that, but even just off the rip, just knowing that like he had like kind of a sponsorship deal for therapy after like how many people died? How many people died?
There's 8 dead. There's another woman who's brain dead right now. She's 22 because of the injuries she got at the event. And like it's not like it's not a paid partnership. It's just that he reached out to BetterHelp, and BetterHelp, which is it's a therapeutic like app company or whatever it is. And it's like the fact that they accepted it and we're just like, oh, let's just be a part of this kind of thing, rather than like, okay, how about like Travis Scott like figures out some sort of like, rather than an app company where you can get therapy, like some way of like maybe sending them to actual like.
I will say though, like in their defense, like if there's a chance for you to make money like that. Although it is fucked up, like it is
Yeah.
a fucked up way to make money. I mean, it's a corporation, like they're gonna do their
Yeah,
best
and again,
to
I'm
make
not.
money.
They're not exactly making money from this. This was a kind offer to Travis Scott, but at the same time, it's very much. It's more of the mindset probably of I can market myself from this. Not that they're getting direct funds from this, but that I can market myself and be like, look at what we did in this scenario. You know what I mean? Like, look
Yeah.
at that's what
I
I mean
guess.
by that. Yeah, but regardless,
you know,
yeah.
either way, again, prayers up to those families
Yeah.
and lives lost at Travis Scott's concert. It really is a sad thing. That's
And one important thing, just of note, if you're ever at an event and it's like you have like iffy feelings like that, and you're getting him at the start, you should probably leave, even if it's something that you enjoy. And then on top of that too, just try to be as conscious as you can of other people. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's in control of the crowd. I'm just saying that like
I don't know
go
about
to
leave,
a time.
but
Yeah.
I don't know about
When you
that.
get sketchy vibes.
What do you mean
Yeah.
sketchy vibes?
What I mean,
though?
like, it's just like if it's like it seems out of control, right? Like if the security guy knew that it was going to be out of control and he saw it from the crowd. There's videos from the initial start of it of people literally pushing down a fence and like trampling people to get inside.
I mean, all right,
like,
well,
you know
okay, to
that
that
it's going to be a bad
extent, I
time. That's what I'm
guess so,
saying. I'm
yeah.
not saying like, oh, like I saw a guy get hit by a foul ball at a baseball game. Looks like I'm leaving right now. No, that's not what I mean.
I mean,
like,
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Regardless,
Though, it's still the fucking crazy sad thing that happened.
Yeah, of course.
But
And again, prayers
I
out to
mean,
those families.
speaking of more, trampling and on and like getting just pummeled completely. I know it's a terrible transition, but did you see the Jokic Markieff Morris
Of course
fight?
I did. Of course
It
I
wasn't
did.
really a fight, but those of you who are fans of the NBA know that Nikola Jokic, reigning MVP, and Markieff Morris, was it Markieff or Marcus? Markieff Morris got into a bit of an altercation. So Markieff Morris flagrantly fouled Nikola Jokic in the side without him seeing, and just completely didn't go for a ball, just rammed him straight into the ribs, and turned around as soon as he hit Nikola Jokic, and Jokic wasn't having any of it. So he was he gave him back. He retaliated. He gave him back exactly what he gave him, and he rammed Markieff Morris straight in the back, gave him whiplash and everything, and I am completely for it.
I am not for it.
I am completely for it, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Markieff Morris has been notorious, okay, for being hyper aggressive, just literally not going for the ball at all in the NBA. He's like one of the most. Doesn't he have like one of the most calls in the NBA, like most fouls?
I think
or
so,
whatever,
and
like
his
most
brother's
tackles or
also-
most flagrant, like both of them.
Yeah,
both
Marcus
of them
is also. They look the same, by the way. If you ever watch sports, you can't tell which one is which half the time. They're
Like-
identical.
I think if Markieff Morris is going to start some shit like that, don't turn your I agree with Shaquille O'Neal. He said don't turn your back. He turned his back around, expecting not to get hit after completely wailing on a guy. Like, what do you expect? He's gonna come right after you, dude.
I mean-
what do you want Nikola Jokic to say? Hey, turn around so I can fucking hit you? Like,
No,
what?
but if I was in that scenario, I would have run up to him in the face. I think, okay, the way he hit him on the side was not necessarily like a super aggressive like hit.
Yes, it
like-
was.
I don't think it was.
Yes,
I don't
it
think
was.
it was. I think it was like was it a hit? Was it slightly? It could have caught him off guard. Yes, but running into a guy, there's one thing you don't do, and he hit him on the side. You run into a guy's back, that is an absolute no-go, no-zone. He's
Why?
lucky he
No,
didn't-
no,
You
it
never
is-
hit a guy
I
when his back's
completely
turned.
disagree.
No, listen.
Disagree.
Why can't you walk up to a guy directly to his face after that situation?
Because
it's been
if-
done before.
if
There's
he's
been
go-
times where
okay,
it's
if you're gonna listen. He didn't swing technically. All right, Markieff Morris didn't like throw a punch.
No, he
but
rammed
Nikola
his-
Jokic
slightly
was
rammed
going
his
up for a
body.
throw for a shot.
Yeah.
Rib cage completely open. Markieff Morris didn't go to block the shot. He didn't go for the fucking ball. He completely ignored it and just went straight into his side, ramming his shoulder straight into his rib cage. Like, if that's not like,
I don't even think it was his. It was like half of his body into like it was like this side of his body into.
tell me
Jokic's,
what's on
like,
this side of your body?
My rib cage.
Your rib
yeah.
cage, exactly.
But at the
If
same
someone's
ti-
gonna come and ram
listen.
your side of your rib cage, and then he's gonna turn his fucking back right after, no, like
Yeah,
I
but the
completely
spine's
agree.
different than the rib
Nikola
cage.
Jokic he's gonna go hit him, and I completely agree. That's retaliation. I mean, first of all, the NBA agrees too. Markieff Morris got fined $50,000, and Nikola Jokic got suspended 1 game. I would take the 1 game suspension over a $50,000 fine if I was him.
50 grand's chump change to people like.
I understand,
At
but
least to
still.
Jokic, like okay. Well, Markieff Morris, I don't know how much he makes.
I don't
a
know
year,
how much this guy's
but
making, but
it's probably
either way,
worse for
like,
him to miss a game. So yeah, it's probably best that he got the $50,000 fine for
listen,
himself.
all I'm saying is he is completely 100% within his right to have gone straight into like ramming him in the back. I mean, you're gonna turn your back around right after like hitting someone. What do you expect? You don't go into a street fight, hit someone, and turn your back.
No, but at the same time, if you have any respect, listen,
You won't
Jokic,
okay, but did
okay.
Markieff Morris have any respect for Jokic?
No,
to
but at
begin
the
with?
same time, it's not nearly as bad as hitting somebody in their back. The back is like, that is, okay, here's a way to compare this, right? If you're in hockey, right, and a guy's against the boards, and
Yeah.
this, I'm not, again, you're going to be like, well, it's not the same scenario because the guy's not fighting him originally. He didn't throw like fists. But let's say I checked you into the boards with my side. I hit you
Yeah.
with, that happens a lot. I hit you with my side and your ribs. Of course, I did that. But then you come up behind me, or my goalie's getting the puck from behind him, and you ram him in the back into the boards. That's a no-go. I have seen videos where like guys, it was like a high school or a college one where that happened, where the defender came, from the other end of the ice, nailed the opposing goalie in the back after one of his teammates got hit hard, and that was immediate, all right, you don't fucking do that. So that's the way I view it, is that like, yeah, okay, sure, you got a nasty hit on the side, but run up to his face. Don't be like, it's more cowardly, like it was cowardly what Markieff Morris did, but it's super cowardly to hit somebody in their back, because that is the most vulnerable part of any human being's body. If you get one wrong hit to the spine, I got punched in the spine once, not going to say by who, they know who the fuck they were, but I got punched in the spine and it caused me issues. It still causes me issues to this day. It's fucked up. You don't hit somebody, and I did this to that kid, and he physically hit me in the spine. It's something you don't do. I turned my back. I caused violence, and that's it. I didn't do something exactly the same as Markieff Morris, but I did something similar, and I turned my back, and I got hit in the spine. It's like the rule one of etiquette.
It sounds like we have bias.
Yeah,
here.
listen, at the same time, it's like, again, it's the back. You don't do the back. There have been multiple sports fights where it's been an aggressive attack by one player, and then the other guy runs up to his face and like gets in a verbal altercation and then starts pushing.
but like,
Not like Jokic didn't apologize. Jokic feels obviously horrible
a
about
verbal
that.
altercation is completely like different than a physical altercation. If you're gonna start a physical altercation, you're gonna end it in a physical
Yeah, I get that. I
altercation.
understand that. But like usually what happens is the guy gets in his face, he says something, and then he pushes him back or something. I'm just saying that like there could have been a better way of your emotions are high in that moment, but there could have been a better way of handling that than just like, you could still
maybe,
punch him
but,
and hit
like-
him. I would, because fuck that. You don't come on my side and possibly have me land on my side, twist my ankle, and then my season's done. You know what I mean? I'd still be pissed, but I'm not going to run up to him and let's not like act like Jokic is some small like point
I mean,
guard or
yeah,
anything.
okay.
The man is massive.
How tall is he?
He's got to be
how
like
big is this guy?
7'3", something 7'2".
You think 7'3"?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Either way, like, okay, look, I won't like,
He's 6'11".
6'11".
Okay.
He's at least,
and how much is
he's
his
at
weight?
least
He's
like
284.
284, 6.
And Markieff Morris is...
I mean, he's definitely smaller, right? Like way smaller. No, I mean maybe not way smaller, but
No,
that's
he's
like
probably
6'5".
No, he's 6'8".
6'8".
Where's the weight? Hold on.
I mean, it's not that much of a difference. I mean, 3-inch difference between the two of
No,
them.
but you
I
see
mean,
a fucking Eastern European coming at you like that, you better fucking run. Those
Did you see his
people are-
Did you see his brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Tweeted at.
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, if you don't know who Nikola Jokic's brothers are, they are these scary looking motherfuckers. They were. I think
Serbian blood.
I forget what game it was, but they were in the stands,
And it was
they
another.
got
It was the other Morris brother in this situation.
and the other Morris brothers
Yeah.
started a fight with Nikola Jokic. They ran onto the court from the stands, and they were swinging like
Yeah.
they were just ready to fight off the rip. Like
They were
these
screaming.
guys, they I'm pretty sure they grew up in Serbia just like fighting bears and shit. Like,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
how scary these people are, and you do not want to mess with that. I mean, first of all, I think Nikola Jokic being the fact that he's 6'11", 284 pounds. Imagine that man just coming at you, swinging.
Piss my pants. I wouldn't last.
You're not gonna do.
I'd be
You
like,
can't do
Daddy,
anything.
please don't hit me.
You can't do anything
Yeah.
to stop that. Either way, I'm gonna side with Nikola Jokic on this one. I really do think that he was within his complete right to hit him back, and I think most people. I would hope most people would agree with me. If you're going to start something, then finish it.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, Jokic apologized. He thought it was bad what he did. So, and I think they're both in the wrong. I think Markieff Morris shouldn't have fouled like that. It was a dirty foul.
It
and then
definitely
I think
was.
that
Definitely
Nikola
was.
Jokic, he handled it terribly. That's the way I view it. And Jokic said that. He's like, I didn't handle myself properly in that moment. I didn't set a good example. I forget what exactly he said, but it was something along those lines.
Didn't he say, like, I feel bad?
Yeah. And that shows that he's a true man, right? That he apologized like that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
he knows it was,
kudos to him. He apologized.
Listen, you hit me in sports, or you hit my guy, I'm hitting your guy. Of course, that's the way it works, right? So
that's how it is.
That's the way
in
it
sports.
is. But again, there's an etiquette to fighting, as
I mean, yeah.
Ridiculous as that sounds. There
is. No, I agree.
Like
there's an etiquette.
There's
to
been
fighting.
terrible situations in sports where that's happened. There was one time where the Yankees were playing the Red Sox in 03-04. There was a huge There's always been a rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees, but it was bad in 03-04. So Don Zimmer, who was like this 78-year-old Yankee like bench coach, started running towards Pedro Martinez during, I forget if it was the A-Rod Veritek fight. Basically, there was an original fight to what was going on and a side fight that was about to happen. Don Zimmer's rushing towards Pedro Martinez, and Pedro, in the moment, took Don Zimmer by his head and threw him to the ground. A 78-year-old man. Now again,
damn.
So like
he was that old?
Yeah.
Shit.
So, but Pedro felt bad. He still feels bad about it. Don Zimmer's since passed away, obviously. But like again, he was in the heat of the moment, and he didn't operate properly, right? Like, yeah, Don Zimmer shouldn't have been rushing towards a guy at 78.
I mean,
but at the same time,
that's tough.
That's
because,
tough, right?
Listen, that's a tough situation. Look, if you're,
yeah,
if just a regular guy is coming like running straight at me, like, and he looks like he's gonna just wail on me, like, yeah, all right, I'll swing
really quickly.
But
actually, keep talking, Sebs. Keep talking.
Man, if it's an old man running at me, I don't know. Would he get the smoke? That's a good question. If you guys are watching on YouTube, leave a comment down below. If an old man is running at you full speed, about to attack you, would you retaliate and grab him by the head and throw him down? Or would you just let that old man swing? Let us know in the comments if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Spotify, you could tweet at us and let us know. But I honestly, I think, if he's angry enough...
See? He threw him by the head. I mean, I get it.
I think if he's angry enough to come attack me, I think I'll swing his head into the ground.
That's fair.
I think he deserves these.
I don't think. Again, heat in the moment. Obviously, your emotions get high, man. You don't know what the fuck you will do in a moment. So.
I guess that's fair enough. That is fair enough.
I guess that's like the theme of the episode. Is that you don't know what the fuck you'll do in a moment. Will you help people in the crowd? Will you throw an old man down? You never know. What
are you gonna swing at an old geezer? I
don't know. You don't know.
That being said, unfortunately, we have to take a little bit of a. Well, actually, not unfortunately. Fortunately, we're gonna take a sponsor break right now. So we'll come back in a few moments.
Yeah. Oh shit! All right. Welcome to Valvano's Pizzeria. You know we got a lot of good things. I need an Adderall and like 3 shots of vodka to get through the day, but that doesn't matter. We got the meatball subs. Fantastic. Don't ask where the meat comes from. You don't need to know. Just know it tastes fantastic. We got flatbread pizzas. We've got whatever kind of pizza you want. You want pineapple on pizza? It's kind of a bit of a sin, but you can get the pineapple on the pizza. You want we'll sell enchiladas, we'll give you hot dogs, we'll give you anything. It's basically whatever you want. The pepperoni's delicious, you can have that as well. And don't forget to order at 743.
All right, welcome back from our sponsor. Just so you guys know, if you ever, are in the mood for Italian food or Mexican or hot dogs or quite literally, I guess anything, make sure you hit up that number at the end of the sponsor.
Yeah, very
for
weird guy,
Valvano's Pizza.
Yeah.
Back to the topics at hand, because that was a great sponsor. I'm really hungry, man.
Yeah, listen. He takes apparently Adderall and 3 shots of vodka to get through it. But okay.
What's your take on the pineapple and pizza thing?
I think it's a sin. I mean, I've had it like maybe like once, but like it's really not it's not that great.
So look. Here's my stance on it.
Yeah.
I don't personally like the pineapple on the pizza thing. I don't. I think it's gross.
I think it's disgusting.
I think it tastes like donkey butt. That being said, listen. If people like it, then it's a thing. Then so be it.
No, but if you do it in New Jersey, you should be shot in a
I
fucking
don't
line.
think it's as big as big of a deal as some people make it out to be. I know a lot of people are super like it's a sin. Like, you can't do that to pizza. A lot of Italians that I know, they're like,
yeah, rightfully so.
But at the end of the day, man, I don't think that it's that wrong. I really don't. I really don't think it's that wrong. Think about it like this.
Yeah.
You already have a fruit in the pizza. Tomato. It's technically a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sauce. It's not a whole fruit, but it's an entire sauce and everything. But there's fruit in it already. You're adding a little bit of sweetness to cut the saltiness of the sausage or the pepperoni that you have on there. The tang of the cheese, maybe. I think I can understand why people put pineapple on there.
If you want to put it on a pizza from like Joe Wrangler in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's fine, because Joe Wrangler isn't fucking Italian. But if you come to my state or you come to New York and you dare to put pineapple on a real Italian pizza,
people will yell
should
at
be
you.
shot in a line for that. That is a sin. Again, like some Cuban guy in Florida, go ahead, put pineapple
whatever
on his
you want.
pizza. But if you're coming here and go to a real Italian place and you're getting a pizza, do not disrespect a guy like that. I'm sure he'll be like, "Don't worry, bro, it's okay, it's fantastic." You could put the Valvano guy might let you do it.
Valvano guy might let you do
but
it.
like obviously he's a little messed up when he takes orders, but like not us, not me. I won't let you do it.
And obviously, I think that us New Jersey people, New York cousins, I guess you could call us, cousins of New York.
Yeah.
I think we have room to speak about this whole pizza thing because, without a doubt, New Jersey and New York have the best pizza in the whole country.
And bagels. New Jersey
and
in particular, bagels.
Bagels. So I forget someone explained this to me before. So there's a bagel shop near where I live called Bagel Masters, best bagels in Jersey. That is, I will say that and stand by it. Anyone in Jersey who thinks that there's a better bagel shop than Bagel Masters, you could list that in the comments below. You could tweet at us on Twitter, let us know what you think is the best one, and we might even, honestly, I'm willing to make a special episode of us taste testing some bagels.
Yeah.
That being said, though, because New Jersey has something with the water, right? I think there's something about the taste of the water
it's probably the filtration system.
Yeah, affects how the pizza and the bagels come out, to the point where it is by far the best pizza in the country and the best bagels in the country. I don't want to hear anything else. Look, a lot of people say that New York pizza is the best. I mean, look, I don't personally think it's the best just because right near home we have this one place called Maurizio's. Grandma pizza from there. And that's my favorite kind of pizza, is grandma pizza. That no other pizza has rivaled that ever. If you want a plain slice, there's a place called Attilio's nearby, also really good. But I will be honest with you, I've been in New York many times. I've had many slices of New York pizza. It just doesn't hit like New Jersey does.
It doesn't.
I
fully agree with you on that one. And like if you aren't from New Jersey, come stop by. We have things to do in this state. There are
I don't know
things to do. What is the bad rep with New Jersey? There's
everyone
so much to do
just
here.
hates on New Jersey so much, and it's really not bad. Like, I don't know why everyone hates it so much. I mean,
listen.
First of
Six
all,
Flags, beaches.
Okay,
American
Six Flags.
Dream.
Listen, a lot of states have Six Flags. I
but
wouldn't necessarily call that a New Jersey exclusive.
I'm crying.
What I will say though is New Jersey. First of all, our summers at the shore, exquisite, beautiful. Okay, our winters here sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, in the sense of a lot of snow and blizzards and stuff like that. But the point is, if you go to the right spots in New Jersey, my God, the lights in these houses, the decorations, the Christmas tree, it feels so, I don't know how else to put it other than just special. Sometimes seeing the lights in certain parts of New Jersey, it is really beautiful.
It also helps the fact that we have 4 seasons here.
We have
and
exactly.
It's
I
actually
think
cold during
4
Christmas.
seasons. We're known as the Garden State because we got the best corn and tomatoes.
We do.
Jersey corn. Look, I don't really like corn that much.
I don't either. Yeah, it's kind of just there for me.
But I have tried corn from other states, and let me just tell you, that corn is not good. Jersey corn is the best tasting corn, period.
That's why when you go to Wegmans in the summer and they have the Jersey corn there, it's gone in like 2 minutes.
Exactly. It's like
crazy.
that. Like that. Jersey tomatoes, they're pretty good too. I like tomatoes in like in my burgers and stuff like that. And then I mean, I don't really taste that much of a difference compared to other states or other burgers that I've had. But like Jersey tomatoes, they're pretty good too. And honestly, did you know that New Jersey is the blueberry capital of the world?
Yes. That's where
our blueberries here bang.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are fans of blueberries because they're so inconsistent with the flavor.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you get really bad
really
batches.
bitter ones,
Yeah,
really sweet ones, really tangy. It's weird, but me personally, I enjoy blueberries. Best blueberries in the country.
Is
man.
that like your okay? If you were having breakfast, right? What fruit would you consistently? If you had to have a fruit with breakfast, what would that fruit be?
I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. When I wake up, I can't eat for like 2 hours.
That's crazy.
I can't.
Bro.
My stomach doesn't allow me to eat. Like I'll try and like I'll try and eat as much as I can. Because like say if I'm bulking or whatever, not that it shows obviously, but say if I'm trying to like, you know, eat as much as I can throughout the day, I'll do my best to eat breakfast, but I just can't. I can't bring myself to eat even an egg. Like it's tough. The only thing that I like in the first 2 hours of when I wake up, the only thing that I can consume is a cup of coffee. That's it.
That's crazy. I need fuel in my body or I'm like dead. Like I don't drink coffee.
Okay, so how long from the moment you wake up, brush your teeth and all that, when do you eat breakfast?
I get up, brush my teeth, shower, and then I eat breakfast for probably like 20 to 30 minutes after I wake up. I'm eating breakfast. Yeah.
Nah.
That's the way it works.
Nah,
it's always the way it works.
I can't do that. I mean, it's just, I think honestly, for the last, I want to say 3-4 years, I haven't been able to eat breakfast early morning. And I get up early for work too. I get up around like 5 or 6 sometimes. I can't eat until like 7 or 8 o'clock rolls around.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. I've always eaten breakfast. I don't think there's ever been maybe like a few days in my life where I've skipped breakfast, but when I have, I am screwed.
You're cranky?
I
just need a cup of coffee and I'm good to go for a couple of hours, honestly.
Especially like when we were in like high school or middle school or something like that, I
think high school's a little different though.
Yeah, obviously, because it's a grind. You need mental power to get through that entire day. It's so long. Especially think of teachers too. As students, you may think that it's like just you, but the teachers are going through the same thing as you. I had parents that were educators. I'm trying to be an educator myself. Like they go through the same thing. Don't think that they're just like, oh, perky hunky dory. If they act like that inside, they're like, I am dead right now and I don't know how I'm making it through this period, but I love these kids and I have to do it. Kind of thing. Yeah,
kudos to teachers, man.
Yeah.
Props up to teachers. So I was actually looking over our I don't know, do you call it logistics, maybe statistics? I don't know what it like the
stats.
The stats for the show.
Yeah.
And you actually pointed this out to me after I took a look after you mentioned it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of listeners in Texas.
Yeah, which is quite impressive.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Us being New Jersey people, we never expected people from Texas to be, you know, watching the show or listening to it, or even if you clicked on it and gave it a 5-minute listen and decided it wasn't for you, I still appreciate that little 5-minute listen that you gave us.
Yeah,
I think
Lone Star State,
I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And Texas is definitely a country, a state that I want to go visit.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Do I want to live there? I don't know. I don't think so. No offense to Texas, but I definitely want to go visit one day. I think it is an interesting state to say the least.
I've heard some very good reviews about like the major cities and stuff like there,
like Dallas, Houston, all those. If I was to go to Texas, I think I'd want to go to like probably a Dallas. I'd want to go to Dallas just so I could go see Luka Doncic play for the Mavs.
Yeah, that'd be pretty baller. I think Houston would be cool to visit too. I mean, there's not a.
I really haven't heard much about Houston. Not that I haven't. Not that I know that I think Houston doesn't have a lot to offer. I just haven't heard much of Houston. Like, what is there?
I mean, for me, there's basbaseball. That's my big appeal.
Well, me not being a fan of baseball, like, what is there in Houston?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not quite sure. I'm looking at the map right now. I see a Verizon store. That's pretty baller. Oh, and then the no, never mind. But yeah, no, I think Texas is a really cool state. I mean, outside of the fact that its energy grid is separate from like the rest of the country for that region.
What do you mean?
Like
the energy grid is different.
Yeah, they have like a privatized like energy system. And I'm not sure how to explain it properly, but like there was an issue because of that
Okay.
in the
All right.
in the winter of last year where they had that
Oh
massive,
yeah, they
that's
froze over.
why they had
Everything
the
was just
issue.
messed up. Yeah.
Because they have a like separate
Private.
company.
Yeah, and
like the
they
prices,
didn't want to winterize the whole thing,
yeah,
right?
because
they
of
didn't think it
it's a
would happen.
private company rather than like most of our energy grids are public thanks to like FDR and stuff like that.
Right.
So like you don't run into those problems. But deep in the heart of Texas, again, no offense, but like I'm a leftist, I'm a liberal, so deep in the heart of Texas, where all the conservatives are, you tend to have privatization like that. So when you have that problem, and then they're like,
Jeez,
"Oh, we
bro,
don't
don't
need
piss
to."
off- don't
Listen,
piss
I'm
off
not
any
trying to. I'm
Southerners.
not saying you people. I'm just saying that like when you have people in positions of people in positions of authority, not the people in Texas. People in Texas are wonderful, but people, regardless of party, they're all idiots. People in positions of authority that want to make money on this stuff, they do that kind of, they shortcut, and then when they shortcut, they hurt the people of Texas. It wasn't the people of Texas' choice to be on a separate energy grid like that.
Yeah,
It's not their fault.
They were definitely underprepared for when that winter storm came. I
Yeah.
think didn't it freeze over for like a week?
Yeah, and then they were charging people ridiculous prices for like the energy, like I mean, like crazy amounts, like 20 grand.
I know
for a
that.
month.
I know Texas has been wanting to become their own country for a minute now, right?
Yeah, but like
I mean,
that's been
I don't
like
think
a
it's gonna happen.
historical issue that's been going on forever
Right.
and ever, and it's not like a real like. I don't think many people there want to do that. It's kind of like
Oh,
how some
really?
people in California are like, let's be separate, and then there are people even in our
Dude,
state after the election.
California's you want
That
to
shit show.
talk you want to talk about two ends of like two extremes.
Yeah.
We got Texas and then we got California. California is, at least from what I've seen on the news, from like all the policies that are being put into place, it's crazy there, dude.
You know, it's terrible out there.
It is like super hardcore, like kind of, isn't it like it don't okay, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
In California, you have to get a vaccine to do basically everything,
yeah.
right? As is like I think New York basically.
Not New York State. New York City has the
New York
COVID
City has
mandate.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
well
vaccine
the whole
mandate.
the whole state of California is that way, right? Or is it just LA?
I'm pretty sure the whole state.
The whole
'cause-
state is that way.
Yeah.
And didn't they do something with the taxes to where like now after they taxed everyone, after all the mandates that they put in, like I think there's some crazy number, like maybe like almost like 10% of the population left to go to a different state or something like that.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
left, like, dude, like you have people constantly leaving your state, and the only reason that people are actually coming to California, and the majority, are to get gigs, you know, in the showbiz and everything, to get famous and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
if they didn't have that big showbiz thing going for them, what do they have?
Nothing. I mean,
okay, I'm sure they have a lot, but
they
like,
have nice national
listen,
parks.
I've been to California. I loved the visit there.
Yeah.
I loved visiting, and I thought it was a beautiful state. I just couldn't see myself living there because of like the crazy laws that they have in place.
Also, I read an article for a project I was working on about the moves post COVID and during COVID. A lot of the moves, it wasn't necessarily out of like New York and like out of California. It was like out of the central area, the city that they were living in, and into the metropolitan overall area. So like for instance, like a lot of people that lived in New York City moved to the suburbs of New Jersey, kind of thing. It's like that kind of move. So there
Yeah,
was
but it's
people
still
in
out of
like
state.
but like I'm not saying for California though. So for California, there was like people that lived in like San Francisco moved to the outer outskirts of that general city area, urban area. So like again, like the urban area can go as far as like the agricultural plains of that area. Like however far the like shipments go is basically how far the urban area is. So we're technically in a urban area because of how close we are to New York. So that's basically what happened for the most part. I mean, people still have to stay. I don't defend California. I think out of all the democratic liberal states, I think the best ones are on the East Coast, especially New Jersey. I think Phil Murphy did a decent job. He's not forcing vaccine mandates on people outside of like teachers. That's about it. Like everybody else, it's basically like we're just going about life now. That's essentially what happened in New Jersey. Like if you're not vaccinated, you can still do stuff and you don't have to really wear a mask. I mean, do I agree with that? No, not necessarily. I think you're putting a lot of people's health at risk. That's the way I view the vaccine stuff. But you can still, here in New Jersey, there's no like, as in California, I think California, it's still like you need to show proof of vaccination to go eat in a restaurant and to go to a movie theater. I think that's fucked up. I think that's messed up.
I went to a Harry Styles concert with my girlfriend in New York. Mind you, by the way, Harry Styles is a phenomenal performer, bro.
Yeah.
That concert was lit. Like,
I wish
I don't
you
even
would've
want to
seen
hear
it.
it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says or thinks, bro. That Harry Styles album was fire. Like, straight up. Like, it was really good.
I agree.
And we went and we enjoyed it. He was a great performer and everything. But, so we went a little bit early just to, enjoy the city, go shopping, whatever. Man, something about New York is off for me. Something about just New York City. Something's off. Like, just the vibe I was getting there. Like, everything felt like, it didn't feel like it like New York felt 2 years ago. It didn't feel the same at all. And
Elaborate.
the fact,
Like, what do you mean by different?
well, first of all, when you walk into any place, vaccine card, like automatically vaccine card, you got to wear the masks and everything. And it was just like, it felt like I was being watched all the time there.
Okay.
Constantly like looked at and like I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
And then in the streets of New York, yeah, you got your people in Times Square trying to make a buck, performing and everything. That was still New York.
Yeah, that's
but, like,
typical New York.
Just walking through there, though, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it's had the same energy that it did before. It just felt kind of like, I don't know how else to put this, but like it just felt like the energy was gone and it was replaced with like kind of like darkness. Like
Okay.
people looked sad. People looked like they were struggling and everything. Unlike like I remember going to New York, not just like 2 years ago, not a long time ago. Not so like my memory wasn't distorted as if I were a kid, but like it looked like everyone was like teeming with life, basically. Like they're
Yeah.
doing their best, they're trying. There, man, it just looked sad. It just looked like a dark cloud was over everyone.
Well, I mean, you also have to remember that people were like, we all just went through a massive like grieving process, and that city was hit hardest and hit first. And there's a lot of people that still haven't recovered from that. And then on top of it, like, yeah, does it suck that you have to show cards everywhere? And there's one thing I cannot stand. It's the comparison to Nazi Germany and the vaccine cards.
Yeah, I don't think that shit is
nothing
that
like
crazy.
that.
I could get the complaints.
Yeah,
like
and
I
is,
understand it, and like I think it's annoying too, the whole mask thing. But like I don't see the compare. Like
no, I think
it's a little bit of an extreme comparison,
and it's insensitive to what happened.
Yeah,
during World War
I
II.
agree.
You're not being thrown in concentration camps. You're just being criticized because again, this is not substitute. This is my view. I just don't think you're making the smart decision, and all that's in that vaccine is lipids. It's fats. That's basically it. And the mRNA that codes. That's it. You're not going to get harmed from it. You're actually more likely to be affected by the disease itself than you are from the vaccine of any kind of issues. So, but besides the point, it's still not cool. Like I said, I understand why the mood would be dampened in New York. I mean, it's like,
I don't know.
You're putting out, people have to show cards and everything like that. It's not a fun time. You know what I mean? You're not as free and lively as you once were. It's almost as if something's lurking over your shoulder, ready to strike at any moment and shut everything down again. That's what I imagine, the fear that runs through people's minds. I mean,
I guess,
yeah.
but like, I don't know. Just New York was off.
Yeah.
I think New York City, man, those mandates really, they did a number on these people, man. They really did. COVID, just in general, did a number on these people. But I really think that, like, honestly, like, I mean, maybe this is just a New Jersey thing because, like you said before, it's like, it's almost quote unquote like it's not here anymore. Like, yeah, we got to wear masks to some places like doctors' offices and stuff.
Yeah.
But like
And
for the
schools.
most part, like you don't got to wear a mask anywhere, and you don't have to be vaccinated unless you said you were a teacher.
Yeah,
or
teachers, they
a
want you.
nurse.
But the thing is, and like, it's not even like a real, like, these vaccine mandates aren't really mandates. It's basically like you either get vaccinated or you get like tested like once a week. So like,
Which
what's
don't
the
get me
big deal?
wrong, that's
Yeah.
like that like. I could see why that's like getting tested every week for like.
Well,
just
you're
because-
listen again.
I mean,
It's not your view, and I could be a lot nastier with what I'm going to say, but I'm not. It's lipids and mRNA. It's not going to kill you. I've read the research. I've read the scholarly papers. It's not. There's not this mass conspiracy by scientists to screw you over. And again, this is just my view. I know Seb's uncomfortable with what I'm saying, but like, I think it's like you either be smart and you take it, or you be dumb and you get what you get. That's the way I view it. I'm sorry, that's just my take on it. It's not a popular take. It's offensive, but I'm from Jersey, and that's just the way we talk, and that's just the way I am. So,
I think.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know with that whole vaccine thing. I mean, it was one thing for everyone to be like for those vaccines to be taken and everything. Yeah, cool. But now everyone's saying like you got to get boosters now too, and I'm like, what? Like the booster shot too now? Like I just feel like it's not ending, man.
It's exhausting.
This shit's just a lot.
And
Like
the thing is with Americans is that we tend to get exhausted very easily with stuff, and rightfully so, right? It was a traumatic event, and it's It's not fun to have things constantly change, and one day you have to wear a mask, next you're double masking, then you're wearing a mask again, then you don't have to wear a mask.
Double masked.
I never double masked either. That was
Just
random advice. But besides the point, hopefully within another year or so, things really start to get back on track, and we're gonna have to learn to live with this. But
I was just gonna say, like, at one point, do we learn to live with this like it's the flu? Because like now all the like the strains are coming out, right? So like strains are coming, but the thing with strains is when a strain is I'm not gonna say made because it's not made. When a strain like is what's the fucking word when it mutates, yeah, and it becomes a different type of strain, it's not as strong as the original one, because that's not how viruses work. Viruses don't want to kill all their hosts because then they don't have
places
a host
to
replicate. So they don't kill all of them, they just move on from host to host, but they become weaker, but they just want to still be able to spread. So it's like, at what point do we live with this like it's the flu? And at what point, why, like, where do we keep living like we did the past year and a half? I get, or almost 2 years now, right?
In March it'll be 2 years.
Like almost 2 years now. Do we keep living like this, or do we learn to just live with it? I don't know. I just feel like there should be a point where, like, a tipping point where we decide to just deal with it like it is the flu, like the seasonal flu. There. Like, I really don't think like it's as. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I know lives lost.
Yes,
of course, it's still a serious topic, but like, I don't know, man. I think at some point we got to learn to just live with this thing and not constantly be in fear of it.
Yeah, no, and I think the thing is, you're seeing therapeutics come out, effective therapeutics come out, and the vaccines have been out. So now we have stuff that can combat against it. Either you don't get vaccinated, that's fine. If you have the therapeutics, right, then it's not that big of a deal. You get it, you take the therapeutics, and there's a lot more starting to come out. So basically, we've hit the point where it's like, you know, like, we're going to normalize it. It's going to be a part of our lives. It's the same thing. The Spanish flu still exists. You know that?
Spanish flu still exists?
Yes, it still goes around. But you know why it's not that big of a deal? Because we learned how to deal with it. We learned what was the problem. We figured out antibiotics and stuff to combat it. So it still exists, but it's not like, oh, you get the Spanish flu, oh my God. It's like, now it's like, oh, you got this strand of the flu. So I'm sure we will get to that point. That's just, you know, the therapeutics are coming out. It's just, again, it's exhausting. Did you see
Pfizer made a COVID pill?
Yeah, I did. So that's an example of a therapeutic. I don't know much about it. I don't know.
I heard that it like cures COVID in like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
What the fuck? First, we went from something like, oh my God, deadly, like sanitize everything, until now like, oh, you got COVID? Yeah, take a pill.
Well, that's
You're
what
good.
Happens. It's like,
I mean, which like I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong.
Fire's fine. Yeah, you should be happy about it. But what I'm saying is that, like, you know, it's with anything with human nature. Again, like, we learned how to deal with fire. We learned how to deal with like weapons, and they came out. Yeah. World War I, we had fucking massive amounts of new weapons coming out, tear gas, everything, and they were like, you know what, that's not cool, we can't use that anymore. So it's trial and error. It was a novel thing, and we figured it out. Now
don't you think it's kind of weird that we just all collectively agreed that was like, some things are a little too crazy?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like we saw that like mustardy ass come through, we were like, yo,
that's a little fucked up, dog.
That's a little, like, we
dropped the nuke.
We all looked at each other, like all the countries looked at each other, we were like,
yeah,
we should probably not use that mustard gas no more.
Yeah, that was not cool. I don't know why we did that, but
yeah, at least, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what the UN's for, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We dropped a nuke on one country, and then everybody's like, yeah,
nah,
we don't want that happening again.
Do you think World War III will ever happen?
No, I think it's impossible. And today, everybody's so interconnected. The global economy is so, like, that's the reason why we have global, like, yes, is it good to bring back manufacturing jobs in the United States? Yeah, it's good. But at the same time, the reason, like, the globalization and having things moved around different markets matters, and like how, like, we have a economic relationship with China, is that if we do something to China, it hurts us. If China does something to us, war-wise, it'll hurt them. So that's why there could never be like a massive outbreak. I mean, don't get me wrong. If China, I imagine China's authoritarian grasp is going to collapse at one point. There's probably going to be an internal movement for democracy. I think it's inevitable. And I'm sure then once the state's weak, we'll jump in. But like, again, that's the good thing about having economic like compatibility, is that and the thing is, now you have a lot more sane leaders. You know what I mean? Like, Kim Jong-un doesn't want to start a war, really. The man just wants prowess and power. So that's why Trump getting a meeting with him was like, got him power and clout, because you want You think it's good that the United States president went over there to make a deal with him? It shows that
Yes.
he's an actual legitimate leader. He doesn't want to drop nukes. He just does it for a tactic to get world leaders to come in. That's all.
This is a little off topic,
Yeah.
but did you see Kim Jong Un's like mad skinny now?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yo,
He had to,
his
bro.
advisor team was probably like, "Yo, dude,
You're gonna die.
you're gonna die of a heart attack at 300 pounds. Like, you got to drop some weight ASAP." And he came out the cut, and he's skinny now.
Yeah, and he had jaundice too.
He had
was
jaundice? What
yeah,
the
he had
hell's
like yellow.
jaundice?
It's like yellow skin,
That's
like
jaundice?
because of like blood flow and stuff like that. I think. Yeah, it's something along those lines. Yeah. So they were like, yeah, hold on, I don't know.
jaundice.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong. I think that's what it's called.
Well, either way, good for him to get skinny.
Yeah,
you know?
no, good for him.
I'm a
Yellow
fan of
skin
that guy.
caused by buildup of something in the blood.
Mucus membranes.
The liver can't effectively process red blood cells as they break down.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a super serious thing.
God damn.
Yeah. So they were like, yeah, dude, you need to lose weight
Well.
fast. Yeah.
Well, I hope no one here gets jaundice, and I hope none of our viewers get jaundice.
Yeah, you do not want that. So
That being said, we are running out of time here on this podcast, but I do want to say thank you all for viewing this video on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube.
yeah.
Thank you for listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell you listen on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. And please just drop a like, comment, show us that you're watching, show us that you enjoy it.
Yeah,
Tell us what to
share.
do. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
I think that would help us a lot, make this more entertaining for you guys.
Definitely. Just throw your ideas out and don't forget to share with people. Like if you really like us, show it
Please,
to like your
show
mom,
it
your
to-
dad,
show it
your
to your
friends, your
friends,
cousins,
anyone.
like anybody. Yeah.
We would love that.
Of course.
That being said, though, thank you guys so much for listening to the whole thing. If you made it through the whole thing,
Yeah.
if you didn't, still thank you.
Of course.
And I hope you guys have a great day, great night, whatever time it is you're listening. That being said, peace.
Peace out.